Beneath your feet, at this very second, a silent, titanic shift is occurring that challenges every perception you have about stability, time, and the very essence of reality. While you sit there, perhaps scrolling or listening, the Earth's inner core has begun to behave in a way that feels more like a neurological glitch than a geological fact. Recent seismic data suggests that the solid iron ball at the heart of our planet, an object roughly the size of Pluto, has not only slowed down but may be rotating in the opposite direction relative to the surface. To the casual observer, this sounds like a headline from a disaster movie, but to the mind tuned to the frequencies of science and philosophy, it is a profound metaphor for the human experience. Welcome to MindSpark Science, where we peel back the layers of the physical world to find the neurological and quantum echoes within. The Earth is not merely a rock floating in a vacuum. It is a complex self-regulating system, much like the human brain. Just as your prefrontal cortex coordinates with the limbic system to maintain emotional homeostasis, the Earth's core interacts with the mantle through a delicate dance of electromagnetic and gravitational forces. This recent deceleration of the inner core isn't just a curiosity for geophysicists. It is a reminder that the systems we rely on for constancy are in a state of perpetual flux. Think of the Earth's magnetic field as the planet's nervous system. It protects us from cosmic radiation, just as our psychological defenses protect our consciousness from the overwhelming noise of the external world. If the core changes its rhythm, the field changes. If the field changes, the very biological clocks within our cells, our circadian rhythms, may feel the ripple. We are bioelectrical beings living on a geoelectrical sphere. When the Earth breathes, our biology listens. Let's dive deeper into the neurobiology of this perception. Why does the idea of the Earth's core stopping or reversing feel so unsettling? It's because of a phenomenon known as predictive coding. Your brain is essentially a prediction machine. It doesn't see the world as it is. It sees the world as it expects it to be based on previous data. You expect the ground to be solid. You expect the North Pole to stay north. When science reveals that the very foundation of our world is shifting, it creates a state of cognitive dissonance. This is the same feeling you get when a long-held belief is challenged. Your brain's amygdala fires a warning shot. The constant is gone. But here is the neuroplastic twist. The human brain is the only structure in the known universe capable of consciously recalibrating itself in response to a changing environment. Just as the Earth's core finds a new equilibrium every 60 to 70 years in its multi-decadal cycle, your neural networks are designed to prune the old and strengthen the new. We are built for the shift. Consider the quantum perspective of this geological event. In the quantum realm, there is no such thing as a solid object. The iron core is a dense collection of vibrating particles, an intricate web of energy. If we apply the principle of entanglement, we realize that no part of a system can move without affecting the whole. The oscillation of the core is a pulse. If we view the Earth through the lens of the Gaia hypothesis, the idea that the planet is a single living organism, then the core's slowdown is not a failure but a transition. It is a recalibration of the planetary circuits. In psychology, we call this a refractory period. It is the moment after a neuron fires when it cannot fire again immediately. It needs to reset. Perhaps the Earth is in a refractory period, a moment of deep, planetary silence before the next cycle of expansion. When you feel overwhelmed by the pace of the modern world, remember the core. You might feel like you are slowing down, losing your spin, or even moving backward while everyone else moves forward. But, in the grand design of planetary physics, a reversal is often a prerequisite for balance. Your brain uses a similar tactic during sleep. In REM cycles, your body is paralyzed and your outward productivity is zero. But internally, your brain is performing the most intense data backup and emotional processing of the day. You are moving backward through your memories to move forward into your future. The Earth's core is doing the same. It is a rhythmic correction, a balancing of the angular momentum between the liquid outer core and the solid mantle. Science shows us that stress is not the enemy. Lack of recovery is. The Earth recovers through these cycles. We recover through neuroplasticity, the ability to reorganize our thoughts when the ground of our lives shifts. We often think of ourselves as separate from the Earth, as passengers on a ship, but biology tells a different story. Therefore, the something happening inside the Earth is also happening inside you. It is a call to look at your own inner core. What part of your identity is shifting? What magnetic field or personal boundaries are you currently reshaping? To expand our exploration even further, we must confront the staggering scale of what is truly happening beneath us. When we speak of the Earth's inner core slowing down, we are not just discussing a rock in a void. We are discussing the very engine of our existence. This core, a sphere of solid iron and nickel under pressures so intense they defy our standard understanding of physics, serves as the anchor for the planet's rotation. Imagine the sheer kinetic energy involved. To see this energy fluctuate is to witness the heartbeat of a titan. In neuroscientific terms, this is akin to discovering that the baseline oscillations of the human brain, the alpha and theta waves that govern our subconscious, have suddenly shifted their frequency. When your internal frequency changes, your entire perception of reality follows suit. The relationship between the Earth's core and the mantle is one of constant friction and flow. This is remarkably similar to the concept of cognitive load in psychology. Your brain can only process so much information before it needs to redistribute the energy. The Earth, too, manages its angular momentum. As the core slows, the mantle must adjust. This redistribution of force often manifests as subtle changes in the length of a day, milliseconds, so small we don't feel them, yet so significant that they affect the synchronization of our global positioning systems and our biological clocks. This is a profound metaphor for human burnout. When the core of your being, your values, your energy, your drive, begins to slow down, the surface of your life, your work, your social interactions, your physical health must undergo a redistribution of stress. If you do not adapt to your core's new rhythm, the friction creates heat, and heat, in both geology and psychology, leads to a breakdown of the system. Let's bridge this with the concept of neural entrainment. This is the tendency for our brainwaves to synchronize with external rhythms like the beat of a drum or the flicker of a light. But what about the rhythm of the Earth? Some researchers suggest that the Schumann resonances, the electromagnetic pulses of the Earth's atmosphere, have a direct impact on human brain activity. If the core's movement influences the magnetic field, it indirectly influences the very environment in which our neurons fire. We are not just living on the Earth. We are plugged into it. When the core reverses its relative spin, it is a planetary scale reset. In quantum mechanics, we might call this a phase transition, just as water turns to ice or steam depending on the energy state. Our planet may be entering a new phase of its geological life. Think about the depth of this mystery. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the 5,000 kilometers beneath our feet. This inner space is the final frontier. To explore, it requires a level of abstract thinking that mirrors the way we study the human soul or the hard problem of consciousness. We cannot see the core directly. We can only interpret its shadows through seismic waves. This is exactly how we study the mind. We cannot see a thought, but we can see the blood flow in an fMRI scan. We are interpreting ripples in the dark. This realization should humble us. It reminds us that the most important forces in our lives, gravity, magnetism, love, consciousness, are often the ones we cannot touch or see. They are the invisible foundations. Now let's look at the twist of resilience. In the world of materials science, the iron at the core is under such pressure that it becomes a super-ionic state, behaving like both a solid and a liquid. This state allows it to be incredibly resilient. In the same way, the stress you feel in your life is the very thing that can forge a super-ionic character. Psychological resilience isn't about being a solid rock that never moves. It's about being like the Earth's core, able to shift, rotate, and adapt while maintaining your central integrity. You are not breaking. You are being compressed into a more efficient version of yourself. The Earth's core isn't failing. It is simply finding the most efficient way to exist in its current environment. As we move forward into this new geological epoch, we must ask ourselves, what else is shifting? The core's deceleration is a signal that we are part of a larger living system that is constantly self-correcting. In Feynmanistic terms, nature uses only the longest threads to weave her patterns, so each small piece of her fabric reveals the organization of the entire tapestry. The core is one thread. Your consciousness is another. When the core moves, the tapestry ripples. This is the beauty of mind-spark science, the realization that there is no out there and in here. There is only the flow of energy across different scales of magnitude. We often fear change because we equate it with the end of stability. But science teaches us that stability is actually a dynamic process. A bicycle is only stable when it is moving. The Earth is only habitable because its core is active. Your mind is only healthy when it is learning and changing. The something happening inside the Earth right now is a masterclass in the necessity of movement. It is a reminder that we are allowed to change our minds, change our direction, and even slow down our internal rotation to better align with the universe around us. We are participants in a cosmic dance that has been going on for 4.5 billion years. In conclusion, the shifting core of our planet is not a herald of doom, but a testament to the Earth's incredible capacity for renewal. It is a biological, geological, and quantum reminder that life is a process of constant adjustment. As you go about your day, feel the ground beneath you not as a static floor, but as the skin of a living, breathing, rotating marvel. You are carried by a sphere that is constantly reinventing its own heart. And if the Earth can do that, so can you. You have the neuroplasticity to rewire your brain, the psychological depth to heal your past, and the quantum potential to create a new future. This is the essence of our journey here. We look at the stars, we look at the atoms, and we look at the deep Earth to find clues about who we are. Every scientific discovery is a mirror. Today, the mirror shows us a core that is brave enough to slow down. Perhaps it's time we do the same. Reflect on your own inner core. What is rotating within you? What magnetic fields are you projecting into the world? The answers are there, waiting in the silence between the waves. Thank you for being part of this deep dive into the heart of our world. If you found value in this synthesis of science and philosophy, please take a moment to engage with the channel. Like this video, share it with someone who needs a shift in perspective, and most importantly, subscribe to MindSpark Science. We are more than just a channel. We are a collective of thinkers dedicated to understanding the profound connections between the cosmos and the self. Your support allows us to continue producing this level of deep-form content. Comment below with the word core if you made it to the end, and share your thoughts on the planetary shift. Until next time, keep your mind open, your spark bright, and your curiosity infinite. We will see you in the next deep dive. To truly grasp the magnitude of the scope we are exploring, we must venture into the thermodynamics of this subterranean shift. Inside the Earth, heat is the primary driver of all movement. This heat is a relic of the planet's violent birth and the ongoing decay of radioactive isotopes. It is an internal fire that has been burning for eons. In our psychological lives, we have a similar internal fire, our passions, our traumas, and our innate drive to survive. Just as the Earth must vent its heat through volcanic activity and plate tectonics, we must vent our internal pressures through expression and action. When the core slows down, the thermal distribution of the entire planet changes. This is akin to emotional regulation. If we do not allow our internal heat to flow, we become brittle. The Earth's core, in its infinite wisdom of physics, knows when to fluctuate to prevent the system from becoming too rigid. Rigid systems break. Fluid systems evolve. This is why the study of the Earth's interior is so vital for our psychological well-being. It teaches us that fluctuation is not a sign of weakness, but a mechanism of survival. Imagine the pressure at the center of the Earth, 3.6 million times atmospheric pressure. At these levels, chemistry as we know it changes. Atoms are forced so close together that their electron clouds overlap in ways that create entirely new states of matter. This is the subconscious of the planet. Just as our deepest subconscious holds the raw, compressed data of our ancestors and our early childhood, the Earth's core holds the raw data of the solar system's formation. When the core shifts its rotation, it is like a repressed memory surfacing in a dream. It alters the mood of the planet. Biologically, we see this reflected in the way certain migratory species biologically, we see this reflected in the way certain migratory species whales, even bees interact with the geomagnetic field. They have proteins in their eyes called cryptochrams that allow them to literally see the magnetic field. If the core's slowdown alters the field's intensity or orientation, these creatures must recalibrate their entire map of the world. Humans may not have cryptochrams, but our neurobiology is deeply sensitive to electromagnetic shifts. Studies in bioelectromagnetics suggest magnetic fluctuations influence everything from melatonin production to depressive episodes. We are literally tethered to the iron heart of the world. Grounding isn't just a metaphor. It's a biological necessity to synchronize our electrical systems with the Earth's. As we observe this current geological phenomenon, we are forced to confront the limits of our control. We cannot stop the core from slowing or force it to speed up. We are, in every sense, along for the ride. This realization is the gateway to Stoic science, controlling our internal response to the universe's macro movements. The Earth's core is teaching us about surrender. Not defeat, but alignment. By aligning our expectations with the reality of a changing planet, we reduce the friction in our own lives. In the quantum realm, the core's movement can be viewed as a shift in the universal wave function. Every particle in the core is entangled with every particle in your body. No distance in quantum mechanics. Therefore, what's happening inside the Earth is literally happening inside every atom of your being. This is the ultimate mindspark moment. You are not a small thing on a big thing. You are a localized expression of it. The core's rhythm is your rhythm. Its deceleration is your invitation to pause. Its potential reversal is your permission to reinvent yourself. As we conclude this massive exploration, let us reflect on the timeline of our existence. Human history is a mere blink in the eyes of the Earth. The core has seen empires rise and fall, oceans open and close, and species appear and vanish. Its current slowdown is just another heartbeat in a very long life. By zooming out to this geological perspective, our personal anxieties begin to lose their grip. We are part of something ancient, something resilient, and something infinitely complex. The Earth is not just our home, it is our teacher. It is showing us that even the most fundamental parts of reality are subject to change, and that in that change lies the secret to endurance. Keep exploring the depths, both of the planet and of your own consciousness. The journey is the destination. Subscribe to MindSpark Science and let us continue this odyssey together. Your mind is the most powerful tool in the universe. Use it to understand the world, and in doing so, you will understand yourself. Until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and keep the spark alive. Every like, every share, and every subscription helps us bring more of these deep-form scientific narratives to life. Thank you for being a part of this intellectual revolution. Together, we are uncovering the hidden codes of existence.